Hi guys, welcome to Your Earthy Black Girl. This is your host Sanaa, also known as Your Earthy Black Girl. And I know it's been a while, but I'm back to give you guys another episode just because something was on my mind. And like I said, when things naturally come up, that's when I want to talk about it the most. And I hope you guys like the kind of new setup. I moved from the chair to the floor because it just kind of feels more cozy in my opinion. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is something that had kept coming up in my brain. Like the solution didn't keep coming up, like this statement, this affirmation, whatever you want to call it, but the kind of problem that was causing me to rely on this affirmation and solution kept coming up until I was like, you know what, like da 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 da. So what I want to talk about is do it scared. And you guys are probably like, Sanaa, we've already heard about this. Girl, what are you talking about? Everybody is told that from the minute they're 5. They're told the golden rule and they're told do it scared. And I understand. I agree. But I feel like the things that we hear the most are the things that we forget to rely on. Like treat people how you want to be treated. Not everybody always does that. Like, things that are so simple are things that we often don't think about and we often don't implement into our everyday lives when we need it the most. And do it scared, I feel like, is one of them. And I especially think this is relevant in high school, in a career, in college, especially. Like, that's why I'm starting to realize that I need this little 1-2 affirmation, might get it tattooed, hang it up on a sticky, because in college, I've had to rely on that a lot. And that's especially why I wanted to make this video, just in case anybody else felt like this, because it got to the point where I would open up applications for jobs or internships or whatever, and I would see how much work it is, and I'd be like, oh, immediately no. Like my heart would start pitter pattering. I would feel anxiety before as I'm opening the application, waiting to see how much work it is, waiting to see how competitive it is, like just getting a little bit nervous, like just thinking about it. And I was realizing that that was holding me back from so many opportunities. Like, do you know how many jobs I clicked out of because it was too competitive, or it asked for too much stuff or too much writing or a cover letter or things like that? Like, and there's so many opportunities. I mean, okay, not that many now, but there are probably a lot of opportunities that I missed out just by being lazy, being doubtful, not being confident in my own abilities, being nervous and being scared. And it got to the point where, if you guys don't know, I had been considering being a lawyer, being going to law school, everything like that. And I was like, I would do law in a heartbeat, but it's a lot of work. But it's very competitive. But I might not succeed. But I might not make a lot of money. And all those things were like the only, I mean, that's a good amount. Those are valid concerns, but those were the only things that were stopping me from actually pursuing a career field that's literally been coming up in my brain for years at this point, for a reason, I assume. And those were the things that was stopping me. And then I had to sit back and realize, like, if I'm letting these things, like, and don't get me wrong, you need to be realistic. You need to keep yourself in check. You need to understand when something is going to be too much for you and you can't handle it. But if it's to the point where you are giving up before you even start, just based off of how something looks, instead of actually trying, actually sitting with yourself and realizing I can do this or I can't do this, it's completely two different things. And I started to realize that I was just kind of writing things off before I even gave it a chance. And before I even, sat and thought to myself, can I actually do this? It's something that I want to do and something that I can do. And that's when I remembered, like, do it scared, do it scared, do it anxious, do it, I don't know, just do it. And I know that sounds corny. It sounds like Nike's slogan, but they were onto something. Like, you need to just do it. Don't, put your best effort in, but don't just give up opportunities just because you're scared or just because you're nervous or just because it's competitive. Realize, and this is like 2 affirmations, they're literally sitting on my planner right now because it's affirmations that I want to look at every single day just to remind myself as I'm potentially working towards the goal of law school in particular, or whatever your goal might be, because this applies to so many different things. But I realized, 1, I can do anything I put my mind to, and 2, what's for me will never ever pass me by. And those 2 affirmations and those 2 realizations are what got me to this video, what got me to the idea of do it scared, because this is permeating all areas of my life: jobs, internships, future careers, this video, I was like, I want to make a video, but like I'm scared to like sit down and upload and edit and have everyone be like, oh, finally, and things like that. Like, it was literally stopping me from doing so many different things that I'm passionate about, that I love, that I'm excited about, just because I was scared, just because I was letting anxiety creep in about the teeniest, tiniest, most irrelevant things. And again, what is for you will never pass you by. So yeah, I might put in a lot of hours into this study abroad program that I really, really want to do really bad, and I might not get it. Guess what? I'm going to apply the next year. I'm going to apply the year after that. I probably won't be able to apply the year after that, but by then, I'll be like, you know what? You got it. Because I'm sure there'll be other opportunities that arise for me. Because if it's for me, then I'm going to get it regardless, always. If it's not for me, then I'm not going to get it. And it's just simple as that. And my dad has always told me that, like, it just wasn't meant for you. If you didn't get it, it just wasn't meant for you. And if you did, then that's something that you were supposed to have. And I feel like that understanding will take a lot of the pressure off your shoulders, because all you have to do is your best. And then at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, then it just wasn't meant to. And that, I think, is very, very reassuring, because it won't feel like it's anything that you did wrong on your part. So that, combined with the fact that I can do anything I put my mind to, is what's been pushing me through these past couple days, realizing that if I really want to do something, then I'm not going to give up. Then I'm going to do it. Then it's going to happen, no matter how much work it is. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but so what? If I want to do it, then it's going to get done. And this might sound, overly delusional, overly confident, but that's the kind of mindset that you have to have. Like, I had to completely flip it in a 180 over a course of yesterday, just because I was realizing that this was just starting to creep into so many parts of my life. And, ever since I kind of flipped these thoughts, I felt liberated, almost like so much more productive. Like, I've started things that felt like mountains, and I've been able to break it up into little by little and make it fun, like a paper that I have to do, applications that I have to get started on. Like, I've been able to break them up and actually start to get excited to apply to them, because I know, okay, I'm going to do my best, and whatever happens after that is whatever is meant to happen. And that's honestly a very reassuring and soothing thought at the end of the day. So if you have been feeling this way, if you've been kind of scared to look at mountains of work and you've been letting it pile on, or whatever aspect of your life that it is, then I would suggest you to realize that no matter how you're feeling, just do it regardless. Like, be realistic, but do it scared. Do it with competition. Do it with anxiety, as long as you're doing it at the end of the day, and understand that what's for you is always going to be for you. It's always going to be yours. And you can do anything that you put your mind to at the end of the day. And these are very elementary school thoughts, very elementary school sayings, but sometimes we got to fall back on the things that we were taught very, very young, because we realized that the people telling us was low key onto something. But that's all I have for you guys. Make sure you choose love, spread love, and be love. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.